Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Today I created this fun pink purplish look that I got going on here. It was using the Anastasia Alyssa Edwards palette. I did create a look with this earlier a couple weeks ago and it just did not work out. It failed miserably. It was so patchy, unblended, it just looked terrible. So I wanted to use the palette again, give it another shot, try out the formula again, and just see what I could come up with. So this is what the look I came up with today. I will say that these shadows take a little bit longer to blend. It's a little more difficult, but that it is a color shadow, so it's a little bit more difficult to blend in the first place. So just getting used to the formula is probably the best thing for these things. So yeah, if you like this eye look, then just keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future uploads so you get notified. And yeah, let's just get started. So first I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade 20. I'm just going to use this as my eye primer today. I'm just going to put a generous amount of this on the eyelid. And then I'm just going to take a beauty blender. It's not even damp or anything, just to pat that in and blend it out a little bit. And I'm making sure I even bring it out here just so that when we're blending out shadow that doesn't get patchy. And do the same thing in the inner corner. Next, I'm just going to take the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation Powder, and I'm just going to take the tiniest little bit of this. I don't want a lot. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. It was from like a set a long time ago, like 3 years ago, I think. And I'm just going to pat this on and set the eyeshadow. Or set the concealer, sorry. So today we're going to go in with the Alyssa Edwards palette. I actually tried to film a look with this palette already, but I was really struggling blending it out, so today I'm going to do it to see if it really just is me and I don't know how to use color, or if it's like the palette and the quality of the palette. I've heard a couple people kind of dislike this palette because of the blending quality, so we're just going to test it out and see what happens today. Hopefully I don't get too angry. So I'm going to go in with this Elizabeth Mott blending brush. I think I got this in an Ipsy Big or maybe a Boxycharm. And the first shade I'm going to go in with is this one right here, which is called Texas Made. I'm going to get enough of it, but then I'm also just going to tap off as much of the excess as I can, and I'm just going to use this and I'm going to start building it up in the crease. I'm applying really light pressure as I'm doing this. I don't want to drag it or push too hard. I want it to be able to blend out seamlessly. Once the product starts, or there's not as much product on the brush, I'm going to start bringing it up a little bit more just to blend out this line up here as well. With this shade, if you can see, I'm going in like circular motions and windshield wiper motions, just kind of doing everything in my power to blend this out to the best that I can. Pinks are definitely really hard to work with. Any kind of color actually really is, but pinks especially seem to be chalky and patchy and not blend as well. Now I'm just going to go in with that same shade and just take a little bit more and tap off the excess and just start building this up, just to have a little bit more intensity in here. You can see I'm kind of flicking it out at the end now with just like a little bit of the product I have left. The one thing I've learned with color eyeshadow is when you're blending, you really just have to take your time. Like each shade is going to take probably 5 to 10 minutes to blend out, maybe longer. So like if you're going to do a colorful look, make sure you have plenty of time to do it. Because if you really want it to look seamlessly blended and stuff, it's going to take a lot of blending, like 10 times more than it would if you're just using like a brown, tan, like just neutral eyeshadow. So it's a lot harder to do. So just a lot of blending. I always like to keep the brush like here. You can see I was just doing this, but I'm holding it really lightly. Like I'm not pushing it in, I'm just like lightly blending. Like there's really not that much pressure because I'm just trying to blend this out right here. And then again, I'm sweeping it up back here with the little product I have left. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Unicorn Tribe. And I'm just taking that on the brush that comes in the palette, but I'm going to take it on the fluffy blender side. Yeah, blender side. And do the same thing, get enough on the brush, and then tap off the excess, and a lot of the excess, because we don't want it to start getting chalky and muddy. And we're just going to go in the crease, but we're just going to try to keep the slightest bit lower than that pink shade we put on. And then just to start blending it out, I'm going to take the first brush and go on this line right here and start blending that out. So the next shade I'm going to take is this BBDC shade. It's a dark purple, and I'm going to use just the tiniest bit of this And I'm using the Anastasia brush as well, except I'm using the other side with this like flat kind of shader thing. I'm going to take as little as I possibly can on a brush, tap off as much of the excess, and just barely go into the crease. I just want this to add like a little bit of depth. Like you can start to see it building up right here already. And I don't want too much on here because it'll start getting patchy and muddy looking, but I just want enough to kind of almost carve out the crease a little bit, but also just add a little bit more depth to the look. And then I'm just going to take the first brush we used and start blending, and I'm not going to add any more of this color just because I want it to blend out nicely and look blended and not like some muddy, harsh eyeshadow look. Now I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of Unicorn Tribe, I cannot say that, keep tapping it off, and just use that to blend that color out we just put on a little bit more. So next I'm going to go in with the slightest bit of the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I literally just scraped the edge of the concealer on here so there's like hardly anything on the brush. And that right there will probably be plenty to blend this out to make a cut crease. I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics brush, and I am just really going to carefully place this to create like a cut crease. I like to do little bits of concealer at a time so I'm not adding too much to the eyelid right away because it's hard to blend it out once you're just trying to do a cut crease. So if you can tell, when I did this, I cut the eyeshadow back. I pulled the concealer all the way back just to kind of create that like swooped back line that I was like trying to go for with the eyeshadow alone. So I'm just going to cut the other crease and then we'll be right back. I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called DDC. You can take that on a flat brush with a little bit of Smashbox primer water. So just shake it off a little bit, get some of that on the brush, and then I'm just going to pack this onto the lid. On the inner corner, I'm going to take this shade called Beyond, and I'm going to put this shade on the brush first, like this, and then I'm going to take the Fix Plus and just spray that right on top. And get it really, really wet, and I'm going to put this on the inner corner because I don't like how just the purple looks. So I packed it on all over the place right on top of that blue or that purple eyeshadow, and then I really packed it on in the inner corner so it's just a little bit more pink right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my face and eyebrows off camera, and then we'll be right back to finish the under eyes, mascara, lashes, and all of that. So now that I have the face done, I gotta do my eyebrows. We'll just do the under eyes. We're going to do the under eyes, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in and do my eyebrows later after that. So what I'm going to do in the under eyes, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Dream It, on just a pencil brush. This is another Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to look like up into the mirror and just buff this right under here. I'm keeping it as close to the lash line as I can right now. So as you can see right now, I have a really sharp line in the under eye, so I'm just going to take the shade Believe, this shade right here, and I'm going to take just the slightest amount of it, and this is the JH40 brush. It's just a really, really tiny, small blender brush. So I have some on here. I'm going to tap as much of this off as I can, and then I'm going to go under and blend that out. For the inner corner of my highlight, I'm going to take this Makeup Forever Starlit Powder in 13. I'm going to take it on this little e.l.f. Professional Concealer brush. It is this tiny little, like, detail brush almost. I don't really know why it's called a concealer brush because I would never be able to use it. And I'm just going to pack this on the inner corner. And you're kind of bringing it up into here to just blend it out just the slightest bit. So that is that. I'm going to go off camera and do my eyebrows because I forgot to do those before, and then we'll be right back to do mascara and lashes. You know what, I'm just going to go off camera, do my eyebrows, my mascara, and my eyelashes, and then the lip, and then I'll just be right back on camera. We can finish off this video, and yeah, so power of editing, right? So to finish off the look, I just put a little bit of black eyeliner in the waterline, put some mascara and some fake lashes on, and then a nude lip. So this is what the look turned out to look like. And it was using the Anastasia Alyssa Edwards palette. Now, I did try to create a look with this before, and it was so bad. It was so patchy, it just did not turn out great at all. I will say that this formula is a little bit harder to work with. The colors in here are a little bit harder to work with. Like, you really, really do have to just sit there and blend and blend and blend forever. Like, it feels like forever. And just kind of get used to these shadows. I think that's like the best way to use them is, like, if you're gonna buy it, make sure you are willing to learn how to use them and the best way to use them. And yeah, so I really hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.